computer. Okay. Do you girls have any questions or anything that you wanted to talk about before I start on what I was going to talk about at all? Nothing? Oh, you're muted.
No, not really. Just like, I just feel like I'm trying to take in, I am doing the saved post things.
Okay.
Because I'll notice like, oh, someone's child is sick.
Yes.
So their post, and then I'm like, okay, in a few days I'll follow up with them and say, hey, how's your child doing?
Exactly. Yep.
And there's been a few that said, oh, my uncle's sick or something like that, and I'll follow up with them. I have done a few messaging as in like, hey, your child's cute, thinking about trying to have kids this winter. Do you have any tips, like as far as pregnancy goes? Just small talk.
Yeah. And have you gotten some good response, like people responding back, response rate?
Yeah.
So
but I haven't introduced Beachbody yet. So
yes. But that's what's awesome is that you really just want to like help people let their guard down, right? If you come at them like immediately with some kind of invite to an event, like most people are like, okay, Christy's just trying to sell me something. Like they respond or they just automatically are like have a negative association with you. So this was my way of just talking to people and getting them to understand that I'm a person and, I care about what they're doing or, whatever. Is that you, Jess? You're muted? Is it you? Okay. Sorry. It's okay. It's like something's like hitting the mic. But that's why I did it. So when I started, because I was having a hard time, people just not responding, right? And my response rate to this type of messaging is incredible. Like percentage wise, I bet it's 80% or more people will respond back to me. And that is way better than anything else I was ever doing. So what I figured out was if I could just get people to engage in a conversation about something focused on them, then not only did, was it just kind of an icebreaker for us, but it also like let them, like they would start coming to my page and like kind of following me and kind of seeing what I was about. Like it just kind of helped in every aspect. So it was pretty amazing. Hi, Tara.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. Sorry I'm late. I've been like really sick all weekend, like flu sick.
You're sick?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I Friday to Saturday, I literally slept from 2 p.m. to like
I'm so sorry.
9 o'clock the next morning. It was like 16 hours.
I'm sorry. Are you feeling better at least?
Yeah, today I'm feeling a lot better. We were able to like clean and disinfect everything and try to get ready for work. So I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh my God, the Zoom call, I'm late.
Oh, trust me. Like if I don't have a phone, like seeing in my phone, I still forget. Like it doesn't, I forget everything. I forget to pick my kids up from school. Like I have an alarm for literally everything. Like it is time to leave for school. It is time to everything. It's crazy. So, okay. We were starting to talk about messaging people and making connections. Have you started trying to do that at all, Tara?
Yeah. I don't do it nearly as much as I should. But generally what I try to do is if I make some kind of like a Beachbody post or a fitness post or something, and the people who like those posts, if they're not already like a coach or a challenger or something like that, then I try to reach out to those people first. I still feel really uncomfortable about just like blindly messaging somebody that I haven't spoken to in like a really long time. So I just try to go from there. And like just talk to the people who have either said something to me or, are interested in wanting to be in the group or have liked one of my fitness pages. Yeah.
Okay. I will say that's an awesome thing to do. Everybody should be doing that. Like if somebody takes the time to like something you've done, like there's some reason, right? So definitely should be doing that. But I will try to encourage you to just get over the fear of messaging people that even that you don't know at all. Like I literally, you guys, probably 80% of my friends list at this point is people I do not know in real life. Like I don't know them. And so it doesn't have to be like this crazy message. Like it literally can just be anything related to their life. Like just send a little blip and you will be amazed at the connections you can make with people, and it will just help grow your business, right? Because the problem is at some point, the people you're comfortable with messaging or the people that are liking your things or whatever, like you've kind of tapped that out, right? And so unless you can get over the fear of, you know, that holding you back to reach out to new people, you're going to find yourself really stuck and having a hard time, like finding new people to join groups and all this other stuff. So I know it's hard. I tell this to people all the time and people really don't believe me, but this is not at all like in my comfort zone at all. Like even being on this call, it took Brittany, the two Brittany's, like literally over a year to even get me to agree to be on a Zoom call. I was just like, I don't want to do that, you know? So none of this is in my comfort zone. But what I finally decided for myself is that I literally have nothing to lose. Like most of these people don't know me at all. So what do I care if they think I'm weird for sending them a message? But I can tell you that 90% of them don't. They respond back, and I get so many like, thank you so much for thinking of me, or that was so sweet of you to take time out of your day to do that. So I will just try and encourage everybody to do that. So I wanted to share a few of my like actual messages that I've sent to people, because I figured maybe that would help you kind of see like really what it looks like. So let me figure out how to share screen here. Okay. Let's see. I'm so confused. Okay, here we go. All right. You guys can see that? Okay. So this is somebody, again, that I don't know. She's a doctor mom that I met through one of the doctor mom groups I have. And so I messaged her back in September. Okay. And she obviously had a new baby, I guess. So I always, anytime somebody has a new baby, you guys, save that post. I'm telling you, anybody with a new baby, like just send them a congratulations message and ask them how they're feeling, or like, are you sleeping at all, or, you know, something. Because not only do new moms like interaction with people, because most of them are sitting at home like babbling to their kid and like have no like adult interaction, but they love talking about their babies and they just appreciate it. But they also just had a baby, and most of them want to get healthy in a few weeks. And, you know, like, so they're wonderful people to reach out to. So that's what I did with Jazz Bean. This was back in September. So it took her a couple days because obviously she's busy, but, you know, thank you so much. It was very, you know, short. I don't know why. I will then respond back to when they respond, but obviously it got lost in the shuffle or something. But normally, like when she says, thank you so much, I'm doing so well, blah, blah, I would say, oh, you know, luckily it gets easier, and, you know, hang in there, or something like that. I hope you're having a great week. End it there, done with conversation. But so then it looks like a couple, 6 weeks later, happy Thursday, just another picture obviously popped up. And so I just checked in again. How are things with you? You guys always need to have a question in there. If you're not doing that with your messages, that's a big one, because it prompts them to respond, right? I was making that mistake in the beginning, was just kind of like sending a nice little message, but there was no like reply prompt. And so I wasn't getting a lot of response. And with her, I did not get a response. So obviously it was December. And when we get to December, we're like, oh my gosh, it's December and the new year's coming and I need to invite. So I did that. And since she had replied to me once, I was like, what the heck? You know, her baby's now like 3 months old. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to send her an invite. And so this is obviously the little blurb I came up with, but again, ending with the question. And I just say, would you like some more info on what the group entails? yes, I have about 20 pounds to lose. Great, blah, blah. And so then we get into it. I'm talking to her about her goals, what her current, routine looks like. And, we're talking back and forth. And so, okay, I'm in. And she ordered a challenge pack. Like literally just because I sent a couple messages asking about her kid, So anyway, and I'm also happy. I don't know if you guys have like good scripts as far as like how to explain the program and all that stuff. I've kind of developed some pretty good ones. So I'm obviously happy to share any of that stuff with you guys too. But that was somebody who signed up. So that was good. Any questions about any of that? Oh, hi, Kim. I haven't met you yet. I'm Emily. How are you? I couldn't see you on my screen. I'm good. Okay. Any questions on that? Did all that like make sense and seem natural? Like I didn't seem like I was being a crazy weirdo or, anything like that. Sometimes I still come across as a crazy weirdo, I guess. But, the more you do it, you guys, like it just becomes more comfortable. Like you'll feel like it's a more natural conversation. A lot of us aren't really that outgoing in real life. And so it can feel hard and but I've just gotten to the point where I literally, when I'm messaging people, it's like ripping a Band-Aid for me. I just type it up. And instead of just sitting there and like fretting about it, I just hit enter and I'm like, okay, done. There it is. It's like out in the world, like moving on. I can't, otherwise I'll just sit there and be like, oh gosh, should I send this? Oh, it sounds terrible or whatever. So Christy, we can't hear you.
There we go. Sorry.
Like, I know you're talking to me, but I don't hear you.
What about price objections? Like that's probably my biggest one. Like, do you normally just sell the 21-day fix or?
Right now, literally the only thing I'm offering right now is the all access pass. Like I go on and I don't even offer anything else. Like literally my invitation isn't even to a group right now. I'm just talking about the all access pass because it is literally like anybody that's even thinking about doing it, it is the best value ever. Like you are never going to get a better deal than that. And so that's all I've been talking about right now. But previously, yes, typically and even now, even if they're going to get the all access pass, I almost always start people with the 21-day fix, like even the workouts, because it's just the best place to start for most people. So unless somebody tells me that they've already been working out, like working out's not their issue and they're already pretty active, then I'll start them maybe with something else. But otherwise, it's almost always 21-day fix. Now, as far as price objections go, that is probably the one I'm least good at overcoming because it's hard to like really know if somebody else can afford something, right? But that being said, I also know that for most people, like 90% of people, if they come to you with a price objection, there's some area in their life that they're wasting money that they could, if they wanted to, decide to sacrifice that, like their daily coffee or they're eating out 2 times a week or something, right? And so I always reframe it as I explain that it's $4 a day for the healthiest meal of my day. I always, for me, express how convenient it is that I can make it in 2 minutes, that there's no way I would ever get all that stuff into me every day on a consistent basis, and that I just feel better when I'm drinking it. Like I always explain to them that, I tried going without it. Like I tried several different times. Like, is this really like making that big of a deal? And I did it 2 separate months and never again. Like I refuse. Like even no matter what type of nutrition, like tweaking I'm doing, I always have my Shakeology. And so I explain that to them. You basically, the trick with overcoming price is you have to prove value, right? And so you have to tap into the aspect in their life that you think Shakeology will bring the most value for them, right? So it's kind of individualized. So like for my busy moms, or like, because I have a lot of physician mothers, you know, I talk about the convenience, that it's healthy, that it helps you stay on track because, you know, you have something there ready for you. Whereas other people, I'll, you know, talk about energy. You know, it really, I base my overcoming objections based on kind of how our conversation went, and like what they've expressed to me was their biggest need or obstacle or things like that. So price really is the toughest one I know to overcome, because like I said, you can't convince somebody that they have money if they don't believe they do, right? But what I have found works the best with overcoming price, honestly, is I do these things and I stress value. But for most of those people, I then just say, okay, why don't we just do the all access pass? Or, you know, why don't we at least get started with something else? And then you get them plugged into a group, and then they see other people drinking Shakeology that are talking about it. And, you know, that kind of just backs you a little bit more from other people that aren't you, the person trying to sell it to them. Or sometimes I'll just say, you know, I understand the timing's not right for you right now. You know, why don't I just touch base with you again next month, you know, and see if timing is better for you then. So I kind of do it different ways, just depending. Really the only time I do the, like, why don't we plug you into something else is really for the people that I feel like price really, like money really, like they're really struggling financially. Like I just want to help them any way I can. And so okay, why don't we do the free trial, or, you know, just something to get them plugged into something that's going to help them feel better, and to let them know that I'm invested in them, even if they don't have the money for this. But again, it's kind of a judgment call, you know, with just from your conversation and things like that. The problem with offering free stuff, guys, is that it kind of devalues things. You know, people talk about that a lot. And that's why we don't give away free samples, because if somebody's not willing to pay you for some packets, then they're not invested in it. Anybody will take free samples, right? But they have no emotional or financial investment in actually following through with that. And so I try not to give away free things, because not only are they not, you know, it devalues it, but they're not invested in it. Like, how many people have you given a free trial to that they actually follow through and do the program, right? None. Nobody does. Like, if you ever run a free group, like, people maybe do it for like a week and then they fall off. That's why I stopped doing free groups. Like, it just isn't worth the effort, because people aren't invested in it. Like, they just, if they don't do it, oh, well, I didn't pay for anything, no big deal. And they just stop doing the workouts, or they stop doing, you know, the clean eating or whatever. That's just my experience, at least. So that's why I try to, for the most part, I just try to say, okay, it sounds like the timing's not right for you, and come back later. Does that make sense? Anybody have questions about that? What other objections do you feel like you guys get other than the cost? Any other ones? That's the biggie. Okay. I personally, because I work with a lot of, or, you know, deal with a lot of physicians, I get like, I don't do shakes a lot. That's a big one for me. So I have to overcome that one quite often to like convince people to just try it. And so that's a big one for me. But you guys basically just get price objections from most people.
Yeah, I noticed. Oh, sorry, Chrissy.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I noticed that even a couple of my challengers now, when I'm just following up through with them and stuff, they, you know, their biggest thing is I love Shakeology, but it's so expensive. And so they're on the fence, like whether they should continue on the next months or not, because they just feel like it's so expensive. So in our challenge groups now, we're trying to show more value and talk about Shakeology more so that they can see it, you know, and like all the benefits and stuff. So I think that's helping. But that's one of the biggest things I think that.
And I really do think breaking it down into the smaller price, like saying each shake, like especially then if you want to talk about being a coach for the discount, like it's closer to $3 a meal. Like you literally can't go to McDonald's for $3 a meal, right? And not only is it, you know, obviously the healthiest thing they're going to eat, but 2 minutes, like you just have to find ways of tapping into that value for them so that they understand that they're getting what they pay for. Like people drive me nuts. Oh, well, now I have a different protein powder and it's like loaded with sugar and like just it's garbage. And I'm just like, you understand that you're getting what you pay for. There's a reason this costs $30 a bag, you know, like whatever. So, but that is tough. Anybody else have any other like common objections that they deal with? Kim, you at all?
No.
Price mostly. So the other thing for me, you guys, that helped a lot, and I don't know how you guys come across when you're messaging, but do you believe in the value of what you're offering people? Like, do you have a firm, Angela, you're going to have to mute, please. Thank you. If you truly believe that what you have is a gift and a value to offer people, then you're much less likely to kind of shrink away when they're like, gosh, it's so expensive. You know, like I just started coming at them with confidence in what it could offer them. And the other strategy I have as far as price goes is I say, listen, I understand it's an investment. I totally understand. But here's what I know is that if you try it, you will understand for yourself why it's such a value. And so then I talk to them about the 30-day bottom of the bag guarantee. And I say, listen, if you don't like it, if you don't think it's adding value to your life, you have more energy, it's convenient, it's helping you stay on track, it's dealing with your cravings. If for whatever reason you don't absolutely love it, you A, don't have to continue it, and B, I will help you get a refund. I said, that is how confident I am that this can bring value and make sense in your life. And many, many people will then say, even the people that tell me they don't like shakes, they don't want to do shakes, all that stuff, most people will say, okay, because I explained to them that the bundled price is such a good value that it's like crazy not to at least try it. So I just say, just try it and decide for yourself. And so a lot of people will, like, I guess, sense that I am passionate about it or feel really like confident about it or whatever. And so that will convince a lot of people if I come at them that way. But you really do have to believe first and foremost that what you're offering people is a value and a gift to them, that it will bring some kind of amazing difference into their lives. And if you believe that in your heart, then it will come across when you're talking to other people. So that's what's helped me a lot. Because I used to be in the beginning, like I used to be real like timid, and like the first objection, it was like, okay, well, thanks, bye, you know, kind of thing. And so now I don't back down. It's not to say that I'm pushy, but I just want to like help people overcome whatever objection they feel like is holding them back. And I don't always, you know, people will still say, well, I'm just not ready. But I just reached out to another woman who, you know, told me no last month, I think it was, just to see how she was doing. She was going to do like, I think her husband bought her like a treadmill or something. So I just messaged her and I said, you know, hey, I was just checking in to see how like you're doing with your treadmill or how you doing with your, you know, eating or whatever, you know, just checking in. And she comes back to me. She's like, oh, it's really not going very well. I think maybe I need to do this thing with you. You know, like that happens a lot. So, you know, people will come around in their own time. That's the other problem with this business, is that people can be really slow about it. Like, it's like you're barely pulling them along for months. It can be months and months and months. Like, I think the longest person it took me to finally sign up was like 9 months or even a year almost to this point. I mean, that's crazy. But if you just keep giving to these people without any real expectation, then, you know, they will eventually see that you care about more than just selling them a bag of Shakeology. So does that make sense? I talk a lot, you guys. Sorry. I really do. I talk a lot.
Hey, Emily, what do you do about those that, you know, you talk about your busy mom doctor that say, hey, I don't have time to work out, or hey, I have a treadmill, but yeah, I don't use it.
So
how do you flip it? Because you're trying to get them to work out,
right?
But they're obviously not working.
Basically, I use the current doctor moms that I have in my groups as an example of how it can work. And I explain to them that you really just have to decide that you're going to make time, right? Like, nobody has the time, right? Nobody's just sitting around like, gee, what should I do with my day? You know, like, no. Like, everybody has to make time for what's important in their lives. So I explained to them about, you know, the other women in my group that are literally the exact same as them, that maybe they have more kids than them and they're busier than they are or whatever. And then I also, I just lost my train of thought because my daughter's sitting right there. Now I just blanked out what I was going to say. I love it when that happens. It's pretty awesome. Then I talked to them about the groups as far as accountability goes, and that it really helps, you know, with staying on track and that sort of thing. So those are kind of my two there. But literally none of us have time. Like, you know, nobody has time. You make time, right? And, you know, rather than dragging all your kids to the gym and working out for an hour, having no idea what you're doing, and then dragging them back home, and now before you know it, you've spent like an hour and a half, 2 hours. You plug in a video, you can do 30 minutes, even less on some. Anybody can make time for that. I'm sorry. Anybody can. I literally don't want to hear it. You know, maybe not every single day, but everybody can make that a priority in their lives. So that's how I explain to people, basically. My gosh, Terry, your daughter is adorable. Look at that hair. She's so cute. Okay, anybody else have any other questions for me? Kim, did you hear about the like saving posts, and that's how I like figure out how to reach out, like who I'm going to reach out to as far as random messaging goes? Okay, let me share screen really quick again. Okay, 1 second. All right, let me go back to mine. So when you are scrolling through your Facebook, and I literally just scroll really fast these days, like, okay, like this girl, I'm totally saving this. This, like, I mean, hello, she's like into fitness. She just ran a friggin' marathon. This is awesome. So if you look here, you can either save post or unsave post, and that is how I figure out who I'm going to message. And so then if you look over here, you have all these saved posts, and so there it is right there. But I always scroll down to the bottom because these are the oldest ones, and sometimes I get really, really behind on these. But anyway, like I save everything, like recipes over here and books that I want to read and whatever. But like this girl had like skin cancer or something, I'm going to message her. And so that's how I do it. And that really helps a ton. As far as like directing, it has to be a name that I don't recognize, you know, like so that I know I haven't reached out to them, or at least I suspect I haven't, because sometimes I forget. But like if I'm scrolling and I'm like, okay, I don't know that person, they posted about something, I'll just save it, like just so I can message them because I know I haven't talked to them before. And so that's how I do that. And I'll go like one or 2 days a week and just go through that saved list and send out messages, like 5 at a time or 10 or, you know, whatever I have time for. But it just is a way to get new conversations working that has really been awesome for me. So, Let me ask you guys this. How are you tracking like your conversations and like contacts and all that stuff? Do you guys have a really good system that you're using? Because I'm kind of in between systems, and right now I'm like writing it down on paper. It's not
I have a planner that has 10 lines per day. So
okay.
and so like I'll put a heart saying that I've like commented or messaged them or something like that.
Okay.
And then like maybe a month later, I'll put their name on that same day and put a check mark by it and be like, hey, I need to message her on this day to follow up with her.
Okay. Oh,
So I have a plan.
I don't know. I got this idea actually from Camerati, so she probably told you guys about this, but the where you can make a friends list, like, you know how to do that, you guys? Right? So I've been doing that with my contacts, so I'll show you. I know I showed you guys a little bit last week, but I started back in October. All new contacts, I was just writing their name here, and then when they responded, I would circle them, and then if I invited them, I would put a slash. But then I started putting these into, like, I have now a friends list called October contact list, and so everybody that responded to me, I just added them into that group, so that then it's just an easier way to like have them available, especially if I'm going to invite to an event. I can just click on invite October contact list and it will just immediately send it out to them. So that's been working. But my problem is keeping track of people I need to follow up with, like that we kind of had a conversation, or, you know, I'm having a little bit of trouble there. So is anybody else doing anything a little bit fancier? Maybe? No? Are you guys tracking at all? Let me ask you that. Do you guys?
I am, but I'm using my planner. Like I said, I just message me back. I'll be like, okay, I need to follow up with them on this day, so I'm gonna put a check mark saying I need to message them on this day.
Okay. What about you guys? Jess, how about you?
I'm writing mine in the notebook like you were.
Okay. As long as everybody has some system. What about you, Tara?
I have the same. I have it's like a blank journal kind of thing that fits in my purse, and I just walk around with that. So wherever I'm at, I can just write, and has the different pages for the different months and stuff, and I just check. It's not, high tech at all.
Yeah, no, mine's not either. But honestly, like, that's what's working for me right now. I was paying for Teamsy forever, and I'm like, why am I paying $30 a month for this? It's silliness. This is silliness. So I just finally canceled it. I was like, forget it. Kim, how about you? Do you have a system for tracking your people that you're reaching out to and stuff?
Just in a notebook.
Okay, that's all right. It's literally as long as you're tracking it at least, and you're not having huge numbers of people kind of falling through the cracks, because I was really having that for the longest time, where we had talked and then I'm I'll go back and it's oh my gosh, it's been 3 months and I was going to follow up with them after a couple weeks and I hadn't. So as long as you have some kind of a system that is working for you, so that you're following up with people, you're making new connections, you're inviting people, all that good stuff, then that's good. But I'm still trying to find a better way, because people fall through my cracks. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about with Andrea that I mentioned, let's talk about it on our call, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was in regards to. Does anybody remember seeing a post about it? And I was like, let's talk about it on our...
I know there was something about the weekend workouts, and I know the book.
That was it. Okay. Thank you. That was totally it. Okay. So you guys were doing that, right? And you were doing it through Zoom. And then Camerati would share her screen with the video playing, and then everybody could watch it. Okay, that's awesome. I was not intelligent enough to ever figure out how you guys were all working out together. I was like, I totally want to do this, and my brain didn't put that together. So that is awesome. I would love to start doing that on Saturdays. Now, I may not always be able to host it, and so if you guys want to host it, especially the next few weekends, I may be helping with my sister's babies before she moves, because she's also moving when she has brand new babies, to a different state. So anyway, But I would love to start doing that. So what time were you guys doing it at? Like early?
Like 7. Well, it was 7 my time.
What's your time?
Mountain.
Mountain.
I'm an hour
Would that be
behind
8
you.
here? Okay.
Yeah.
And then 9. That would be awesome for me. Like that's usually the time on Saturdays that I'm finally like I've gotten up and gotten my energized. So that sounds awesome. Kim, what time zone are you in? Do we have anybody that's Pacific? Because that seems early. You're Pacific, Chrissy. Is that too early for you? I can't hear you. Sorry, you're muted.
I'm glad I was muted because your daughter's behind me, behind you.
If you don't know,
yes and no. Like I need to get up early on some mornings. It's just that some Friday nights I don't go to bed until like midnight because I'm like tonight I don't go to bed until midnight because I don't get off work till midnight.
Okay, well
But very rarely do I do a Friday, but usually I'm okay with doing Saturday morning.
So we can maybe even change the time, because it'll appeal to more people. We could do 8 o'clock my time one week, 9 o'clock my time the next week, whatever. So, but I would love to start doing that. I personally thought about doing it with my challenge groups, like just to kind of be more of like a team building thing. Do you guys just invite anybody to do it, or how did that work? And did you have people that actually would like get on that weren't?
When we first started it, we did. There was quite a few people, and then it just kind of fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and there again, like for me, I personally feel like that's because they haven't invested in a program. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, well, if I don't show up, nobody cares. Like I didn't waste any money on anything. Like what? Like I was doing for the longest time, I was like making these like squat challenges or plank challenges and just posting them for free in groups. And literally like after the first few days, no one's still doing them. And it's like, why am I putting in all this effort when nobody else is putting in effort for themselves, And so that's probably why. And that's why I kind of thought like if we did it with our challengers, like it would hopefully like help them feel like they were maybe part of the team a little bit more. But they've already invested in the program, right? So that hopefully they would be a little bit more invested in showing up and doing it with us. But obviously you can invite whoever you want. It's not like I'm going to say, oh no, you didn't invite anything. But that's just kind of how I thought about using it to see if people would be interested in doing that. So, okay. Trying to think of other stuff that I was trying to do. So I am trying to shift, and this is why I'm kind of really super glad that you guys are here, because I need help like developing these things. Like I'm wanting to do more training type things for new coaches and like trying to get people, set up with at least the basics so they know kind of where to go with this new opportunity, right? So Angela, my mother, you guys, most of you know my mother. Kim, Angela is my mother. So, but she's kind of shifted in the last few months to being more of like my personal assistant type stuff. And so she's like making a team calendar with like trainings and whatever. But one of the trainings I was hoping to do was like a coach basics once a month, for new coaches, basically, that you guys sign up. Obviously, I would love to have you guys participate, help with like content development. Like I'm obviously very new and I don't really know. So I would love input on that. I think I have that set up for the second week of the month, I think. And then another thing that I want to do once a month is what I'm calling a Why We Coach call. And so I shifted it a little bit. We talked about it last week about how we were doing the live events and like trying to recruit coaches that way. But this would instead be invites to our current challengers that we see might have, coach potential, and just inviting them to a call. So somebody that already is doing the programs, loving it, they're interacting a whole bunch in your challenge group, like you just see something and you think that they might be interested in this, having a call once a month with all of us on there that we can just talk a little bit about, why we get onto coaching, a little bit about how it works, to see if it's like a fit for them or whatever to hopefully, I'm really trying to find actual people that want to build this business. It is really hard to find that, you guys. So don't think that you guys are like alone in this. I struggle continuously with finding people that actually like want to do this and are like passionate about it and have what it takes and all that stuff. So those are kind of my thoughts. Do you guys have any other thoughts about stuff we could do as far as team, like building coaches and stuff like that?
If we do like the building team coach thing, I'd be happy to help out, but I would do something like maybe a Shako party or like have some other agenda besides coaching behind it. Like, hey, we're having a get together or we're having dinner together or we're having a glass of wine together or just.
Yeah, see, my problem is most of my people, because they're people I don't know, don't live anywhere near me. Like, No,
I mean like on the call with.
Oh, I get you. Okay. Yeah, that'd be fun. Like we're all like drinking our shakes while we're hanging out and like just being cool. Okay. The other thing I've thought about and I've been trying to incorporate is personal development into my challenge groups. Have you guys tried that at all? Like having a book that you guys are all reading together or something? Have you tried it and it's worked at all? I have tried maybe twice and have literally had no takers. So those have bombed for me.
We have not done that with our challenge group, but our group, like our coach group, was reading the 12-week book.
Yeah. We've done it as coaches. I'm just talking about more for challengers, because for me, the trick to challengers or to anybody staying on this journey long term, obviously they have to have tools that work. But most of us have like psychological attachments to food that we have to overcome. And so I've been really trying to find ways to incorporate a book about that and like how not to use food as like comfort or a reward or, that sort of thing. So I have an awesome book that I would totally love to do that with, but I haven't had much luck introducing that. So I've kind of thought about maybe doing more just like personal development type posting in my, like a few times a week, like more of a personal development type geared post or something, but I haven't really come up with anything. So I wasn't sure if you guys had tried or not. Okay. Anybody else have any questions or anything they wanted to talk about tonight before we wrap it up? Okay. Was this helpful to you guys? Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much and repeat myself, because I feel like I do. Okay. Do you guys have any topics that you would like discussed like next week on our call or future calls? Because I'm all about, helping you guys the way, in whatever you feel like you need the most help in. Any thoughts about that before we wrap it up? Oh, did everybody get the Girl Code book? Or are they getting it? Okay, so let's start that next week since February 1st is like Wednesday or something. Let me find mine really quick. So there's 4 weeks in February. It looks like there's 9 chapters, so like 2 chapters, the first 2 chapters for next week. You think you guys can do that? It's not too much. Looks like it's maybe 30 pages or something. That's not bad. Okay, so chapters 1 and 2 of Girl Code, and then we can chat about that. And hopefully by then we'll, somebody will have something that they're curious about or wanting to talk about, and we can do that. Does that sound good? Okie dokie. I think that's it. I really should get better at like writing out my agenda list. I'm not very good. I'm very organized sometimes. Okay, girls, I guess that's all I got. If you guys want any help with messaging, by all means, I am happy to like send me a screenshot and be like, Emily, what do I do with this? Or how would you reach out to this person or, whatever. I'm absolutely happy to help any way I can, because I've kind of perfected how to talk to people at this point because I've talked to a lot of people. So anyway, okay. Well, I guess that's all I got. All right. Okay. I will see you girls later. Let me know if you need anything.
Emily, stay
Yeah,
on the call for a minute.
Angela,
Stay
what?
on-
Oh, just me?
Yeah.
Okay. I guess everyone else get off. Angela has secrets for me. Secrets. Okay, bye girls. I got to stop recording too.